This is it. This is the final moment. One cobblestone to rule them all. Bing ding. Oh, Octuple Compressed. We made it. Awesome. Welcome back, Minecrafters. This is Binary Guy 10. I want to extend a special welcome to the Redditors who just subscribed. Glad to have y'all on board. Anyway, this episode, we have made an Octuple Compressed Cobble. This is the blackest block I believe I have ever seen. It's amazing. But it breaks super easy. Anyway, to get the bedrockium, put it into a furnace. And there's a block of bedrockium. See what that looks like. Oh, it is so heavy. Wow. It has given me slowness 4 just carrying it around. That's ridiculous. Okay, we place it. So it looks like on the ground. And this one does take a really long time to break. Oh my goodness. 75%. 3, 2, 1. I am never doing that again. What we really wanted is the bedrockium ingots. Easy crafting recipe there. Oh, and they have slowness 4 too. Okay, before we can use the ingots, we need to make a few speed upgrades. Combine that with a depth first search upgrade, and make a couple breadth first search upgrades. We'll put those into the QED, and we're going to make some transfer nodes. Going to need 4 of those. And this is going to take its time too. Okay, there we go. We got 4 transfer nodes for energy. We take these, grab our bedrockium, slowly walk back to the QED, all the way around it, and that's going to make a hyper energy transfer node. It is done. Whew, worked really hard for that one. Okay, well, we need to make one more 8x Culinary Generator, put our hyper energy transfer node in the center, and that's going to make a 64x Culinary Generator. Awesome. We'll just drop this back down in the eggplant farm. That looks pretty awesome. Okay, let's drop down a energy cell beside it, and let's give it an eggplant. We'll just put in 1 for now. That did not last very long. Okay, let's do it again. Put a 31 eggplant in there. It is getting 2,400 RF per tick, and each one lasts for about 2 seconds, or maybe a second and a half. That is recharging the cell very quickly. Okay, so it's awesome that we have the super culinary generator. However, it is generating a lot more power than we need for just this farm. So we need to set up a better energy sink. I would love to build a Mine Factory reloaded mining laser, but I'm going to have to build some infrastructure to get to that point. First thing I need to do is actually build an animal farm, because I need some pink slime. I'm thinking that right here looks like a pretty good spot. If you want to see the actual construction, check out the construction video. Otherwise, by the magic of editing, voila. And just like that, there's an awesome tower that reaches to the heavens. Alright, cool. So what I want to do is on the very top floor of this, I'm going to set up some cow breeding. Thinking about using the Railcraft feeding station and an interesting way of keeping the cows contained. And then we're going to transport the babies on down to the lower level where we need to use the slaughterhouse, which is as lovely as it sounds. But let's go ahead and get started on that. So I'm going to get to work up here. I need to build some beams over the top, and you'll see why in just a minute. Okay, so I went ahead and added in the ceiling. I'm going to add a post up here in the corner, like so. There we go. We got one in each corner. Now we're going to need a couple carrots. Okay, we found the village. Time to see if there's some carrots here. Wheat field. But in the distance, here we go. Found some carrots. Okay, time to head back. Whee! So we were wanting to make a feed station. That's where the carrots come in. We're also going to need some steel plates. Come from a rolling machine. I'm going to use refined iron ingot from Industrial Craft, and that'll make 4 steel plates. To make some steel, I'm going to toss some coal into a pulverizer. Pull out some pulverized coal. Open the induction smelter, toss in the iron and the pulverized coal. It's going to give me 1 refined iron. It uses 2 coal dust per each iron. While that's running, I found a rolling machine in the village, so we'll drop that down. It's fully powered. A refined iron, put it in. And to start it crafting, you actually have to click on the steel plate. We've got our steel plates. I'm gonna make some golden carrots. Make 4 feeding stations. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just for convenience, I'm gonna put it right here on the, and that should be close enough. Looks pretty good too. So there's the feeding stations placed. They work pretty simple. Literally, there's one spot. You put wheat or carrots or whatever animal you're trying to breed, whatever type of food they eat. Okay, so this is where it's gonna get interesting. Time to go kidnap a cow. With the gravity gun, if you press G, it will pick up an item, a block, entity, whatever. We'll drop him there. Grab the lead, attach it to him, and then attach him to the ceiling. It's a cow yo-yo. Let me grab a few more of those. Okay, so we got the rest of them up. That's 16 cows bouncing from the ceiling. The fence post is about 8 blocks above the ground, so they're not going to hit it. You want to make sure that you don't put any blocks underneath them, because if they do hit the ground, they will die, because they've been falling for a really long time according to the game. If you have these feed stations, these are close enough to the cows that they will breed, and any babies they have will fall down to the ground. Like that. There we go. What I need to do now is set up a collection area to bring them down, let them grow up, and then let the slaughterhouse do its thing. To move the babies, I want to make some conveyor belts. That's just rubber bars, redstone, and iron ingots. Make 4 of those. Well, actually, a whole stack. And to match the floor, I want to dye them brown. But I don't have any cocoa beans. So what we're going to do is make some industrial fertilizer using sulfur. Some of that I'm getting from the Blaze farm. And this can be used as a brown dye. Need to make some ceramic dye. Now we have a ceramic dye and the conveyor belts. And we'll make some brown conveyor belts. There we go. Back in the cow farm, let's put down some of this. Any babies that drop are going to get funneled over here to this middle. And I'm going to hollow this out and drop the floor down just a little bit. Put down these same conveyor belts on the other side. So we got conveyor belts on all 4 of the corners. So I put it in a floor, it's 2 blocks down, and I went ahead and installed the conveyor belts. The problem is, these little guys, their desire to stay with their mother, who's floating up there by the conveyors, is so strong that they're able to fight them. Now if you take glowstone dust and put it onto the conveyor belts, they go faster. So let's just give this guy a little bit more to run on. Oh, there he goes. The reason that I don't need a lot of walls around this is the cows like to stay near their mother, so even if they walk off the side, they're going to come back and get on the conveyor belts, which eventually is going to push them down into the lower holding cell. Like so. See, he's kind of fighting it, but he can't very long. And then he gets dropped off. There we go. I've already set up just kind of this pin down here, made it quite clear glass, just to hold them, and I've got several in there because I've been running through some tests. On the other underside, I use some angled carpenter blocks, and that holds all the conveyors. And now we need to look at some sort of processing block. I'm going to use the slaughterhouse for this one. First thing we need is a machine frame, an Invar gear, 2 Invar axes, 2 Invar swords, a reception coil, and the slaughterhouse. I need to make a couple tanks. We'll upgrade them to a hardened tank so they have a little more capacity, and one of them will upgrade to a reinforced tank, which holds 128 buckets. Okay, back to the cow farm. We're going to drop in the slaughterhouse right here. It has an internal buffer for pink slime and also for liquid meat, which is extremely gross sounding, but hey, it's what we need. Place down the energy cell. The cow got out. Put it back in. Tell you what, the portal gun, super helpful when working with cows. Gonna put 1 tank right here in the wall and the smaller tank behind it. That should auto input to those. Okay, so let's see if it works. We're gonna send some power out to the right side. And there they go. They're dropping like crazy. Side note, it will not kill the baby cows because it wouldn't get anything from them, so it knows to wait until they're grown up. So in this one we have 1400 millibuckets, and in this one we have about 300. So we need to let that build up to about 1000 millibuckets, and then we can make a pink slime, which is what we'll need for the mining lathe. I went ahead and added a switch so that I could leave the cows alive if I wanted to, but let's go ahead and run the machine again in 3, 2, 1. Mass carnage. It does work pretty quick. That's not sped up this time. And that has generated quite a bit of pink slime. I've been letting it run for a little while. What you can do with the slime, if you grab a bucket, pick up some slime, you can walk over here, drop it down, and you get a jumping around little pink slime. Next time, I'll show us what to do with one of those guys. Whack. Anyway, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like. This has been Binary Guy 10, and have a good one.